welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tupo. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe, like, comment, give me a thumbs up, guys. Today I'm going to show you these easy, gorgeous jumbo box braids. So if you guys want to see how I achieve these looks, please continue watching. Guys, my hair is already washed and moisturized. I'm going to be using my rattle comb, my shine and jam, my rubber bands, and my 100% acrylic Brazilian yarn. Okay, so this is how the yarn comes. It comes in a pack, and I am using 4 packs. And when I tell you this is live, anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start by sectioning my hair from ear to ear, just a straight line, exactly the way I'm doing. I'm just going to take my scrunchie and secure the hair in the back, and then I'm going to start working with the front first. So I'm just going to section my hair into 3 equal pieces, so just straight lines from the temple of my head. So once I'm done, I'm just going to take my rubber band and secure the hair, and then that same rubber band I'm going to be using for the styles. So I'm just using the rubber bands right now to hold my hair, because you know I don't want to be working twice. I love to pre-section my hair, that way I know how much hair I'm working with. So I'm just going to section another line, another straight line all the way from ear to ear, all the way to the other side, and then I'm going to section that into 3. So the middle piece is going to have 3 sections as well, and then in the back I'm just going to section the hair into 2. If you struggle at sectioning, just try to go with the front line exactly the way you did with the front section, and then you're going to be all right. And once I section those 3 on the top, I'm just going to take my rubber band and secure my hair. I'm going to do exactly the same way I did with the 3 on the top. So the last section I'm going to have 2 pieces. Okay, so I wanted to do jumbo braids because listen, we want to do something that is quick, that is 30 minutes, and you are out of the door. Okay, so once I'm done sectioning my hair, as you guys can see, I have 8 sections. Okay, so I'm going to have 8 braids. This takes me an hour to do both sectioning and braiding. It might take you guys a longer time than I do. Don't worry about the time, just make sure you're getting it right, sis. Okay, this is how I measure the hair. Okay, so I'm just measuring how much I'm going to use, and then I'm going to cut the ends, that way I have nice equal ends on each side. And then, as I told you guys, I'm going to be doing shoulder length, so you don't have to make them too long. And I decided I'm going to do big braids, so jumbo braids. So I'm taking 3 pieces for the smaller piece, so I'm going to be using 6 pieces for the bigger piece. And when I loop them around, I will have equal sides. Okay, just make sure you measure how big you want your braids to be, and then once you measure one, just make sure you set it on the side, and then you can use that to measure the rest of the braids. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clips and just make sure the rest of the hair is put away or whatever. I'm going to take the rubber band off, pull my baby hairs out, that way I have something to work with when I'm done, sis. Then you're going to take your shine and jam, apply it to your natural hair, making sure it is nice and sleek or whatever. And then you're going to section your hair into 2. I'm just going to make sure when I loop it around, it has 3 equal pieces, just exactly how you're about to do a traditional box braid, sis. Okay, taking the smaller piece of the yarn, placing it in between your natural hair, and then taking the rubber band that you were using to secure your natural hair with, okay, and use that to secure the hair. Make sure you're tying that like 4 or 5 times, that way it is nice and secure, but not way too tight that you're trying to give yourself a headache. Just gonna section your hair into 2 and then give it a little tug, that way it is really nice and snug. Anyway, so once you do that, you're just gonna take a little bit more of the shine and jam, apply it to the remaining of your natural hair, and then you're going to section that into 3 and just give yourself a basic braid. So you're just gonna braid your natural hair, that way it is easy to tuck in. Once you try to tuck the hair in, it is not hard, it is not giving you any trouble, it is just looking right, sis. Okay, so once I do that, I'm just gonna flip the hair back, the yarn back. Okay, so I'm just gonna call it braiding hair at this point. Okay, as you guys can see, it is already nice and hiding my natural hair. Once you do that, you're just gonna take the bigger piece of the braiding hair, the bigger piece of the yarn, sis. Okay, and then just place it on top exactly the way I'm doing. Just make sure you're giving a really good grip on the base right there, and then you're just gonna start braiding down, sis. Just make sure it is nice and tight once you start braiding down, and that's about it. it. Anyway, so that's all you're gonna do, and I love these big braids because sis, who wants to spend 3 hours trying to do some hair? You can do this hair on your daughter, on your mama, on your sister, on yourself. I mean, it is easier doing it on somebody else, but I wanted to show my sisters who want to do hair by themselves. I want everybody to learn how to do hair by themselves. And if you're having trouble doing it on yourself, you can do it on your daughter, sis. I mean, I'm just giving you these techniques right here. That way your life is easy. I want everybody to be looking cute in the streets, period. And then once you get to where you want the braid to stop, you are just going to take another rubber band and secure it. That's what I've been doing. And listen, don't worry about the rubber band. We're about to do another trick at the end, okay? And especially if you're using the same type color hair, like if I was using black, I wouldn't mind about this rubber band at all. But I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do to make sure the rubber band does not show. I'm going to show you guys again. So you're going to do the same exact technique. You're going to take your shine and jam, apply it to your natural hair, making sure it is nice and sleek or whatever. And then you're going to section your hair into two. Take the smaller piece of the yarn, place it in between your natural hair, and then take the rubber band that was used to secure your natural hair, and then use that to secure your hair again. Make sure you're tying that like 4 or 5 times. That way it is nice and secure, but not way too tight that you're trying to give yourself a headache or, you know, trying to break your natural hair, sis, or anything like that. You're just gonna section your hair into two and then give it a little tug. That way it is really nice and snug. You know, your grip game looks really, really good, sis, okay? Apply the shine and jam, and then you're going to section that into 3. So this is for my sisters who wanna make sure your tucking game is good and you are not having any type of hair showing or anything like that. Very, very easy, very beginner friendly. Anybody can actually do this. But while we're still talking, sis, have you subscribed to my channel? Don't forget to turn on your notification button so you do not miss out on any uploads, because this channel is getting what? Juicy! Yes, sis! Today's shout out goes to each and every one of my subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for working with me. Thank you for all the love. I cannot believe we are here today. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you don't want to use the rubber band because you don't have any of the accessories to use once you're done, don't worry. You can just take a little piece of the braiding hair of the yarn from the side and then use that to tie a little knot. So I'm just going to tie like twice and just make sure I'm nice and secure. Take your shine and jam, apply it to your natural hair, making sure it is nice and sleek or whatever. And then you're going to section your hair into 2, taking the smaller piece of the yarn, placing it in between your natural hair, and then taking the rubber band that you were using to secure your natural hair with, okay? And use that to secure the hair. Make sure you're tying that like 4 or 5 times. That way it is nice and secure, but not way too tight that you're trying to give yourself a headache or, you know, trying to break your natural hair, sis, or anything like that. If you're using the same color hair, you don't have to do this technique right here. You can actually just use a little bit more of the shine and jam, and that's about it, sis, okay? What you're gonna do is you're going to flip the hair back, and then you're going to make sure you take the bigger piece of the braiding hair, place it on the top, and then just start braiding down. When I tell you, this is the easiest technique that you ever do of box braids, believe me. Try this, sis. Don't be like, oh no, I don't think I can do it. You cannot say you can't do it until you try it, sis, okay? Give it a try a couple times and you will be able to do this braid, sis. I'm telling you, they're easy. If I can do it, you can do it too. And then once you get to where you want the braid to stop, you are just going to take another rubber band and secure it. Anyway, sis, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pause this video real quick for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, sis. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you do not miss out on any uploads, sis, because you want to make sure you're the first person to get these tutorials. And you know what? Once you get these tutorials, you get your hair done, send it to your best friend, send it to your mama. That way they also look cute in the street, sis. Don't be stingy, okay? So I'm going to take the smaller piece of the yarn and then place it in between my natural hair. And then I'm going to take my rubber band. So the same rubber band that I was using to hold my hair, I'm going to secure my natural hair with, making sure I secure about 4 or 5 times. That way it is nice and snug. And this is the easiest box braid method that you ever want to do, sis. Because listen, once you do this technique right here, you're never going back to the traditional braids. Come on, sis. You're just going to take the bigger piece of the braiding hair, the bigger piece of the yarn, sis, okay? And then just place it on top exactly the way I'm doing. Just make sure you're giving a really good grip on the base right there. And then you're just gonna start braiding down, sis. Just make sure it is nice and tight once you start braiding down, and that's about it. And then once you get to where you want the braid to stop, you are just going to take another rubber band and secure it. So I'm just gonna take my Kiss Edge Fixer and make sure I lay these baby hairs, sis, okay? So we're gonna be laying these baby hairs using the brush that I got from where? Amazon. You already know what it is right now, okay? And I'm going to be using my styling strip just to make sure everything is nice and laid. And you already know I want to make sure my braids are nice and situated. So I'm just gonna be using this scarf, and this is our scarf. All right, sis, so my makeup is done or whatever. So I'm just gonna make sure I accessorize this style. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this gold large accessory, and baby, when I tell you these braids came all the way through. Yes, sis. I am living for these jumbo Brazilian yarn box braids, sis. I am loving them. I think they're so cute. I look cute or whatever, sis. I am feeling myself right about now. I feel like I have nothing on my head, sis. I feel so light. I can run. I can do whatever. And you know, I cannot just give you one style. I gotta give you another option. You can actually rock them in a style like this. You can actually put them up and use some bobby pins to secure, sis. And look, sis, look at this style right here. You can actually rock this to work. You can actually do a whole lot with these braids. And I love the fact that you can let them down and they look cute, and you can rock them up and they also look cute. It doesn't have to be long braids that you gotta put them up, sis. Alright guys, my hair is already washed and moisturized. I'm going to be using my shine and jam, my rat tail comb, my rubber bands, and my braiding hair. My braiding hair of choice is the Expression braiding hair. It comes 3 in a pack. It is 52 inches and I'm using 1 pack, sis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sectioning my hair from ear to ear, just a straight line, exactly the way I'm doing. And then I'm going to be holding the hair in the back just so I can start working with the front. And when I come to the front, I'm going to start by sectioning my hair from the temple, just exactly the way I'm doing. It's a straight line going all the way to the section right there. And then I'm going to take my shine and jam, apply it to the section, just to make sure it is really nice and clean and juicy or whatever. So I'm going to be using the rubber band to hold the hair together. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side, sis. So just make sure your line is really nice and straight and clean. Just make sure the front is looking really nice and straight and clean, guys. That way this hairstyle comes all the way through. If it's your first time doing braids, sis, you better try this technique right here because it comes all the way through every single time. And I'm just gonna pull out my baby hair so we can do this beautiful look later on, okay? So once I'm done sectioning the front, I'm going to start sectioning the back. I'm just gonna go straight down in the middle, sectioning that into 2, okay? The back is going to be sectioned into 2, sis. And then I'm going to take my shine and jam, apply it to the section just to make sure it is really nice and clean and juicy or whatever. So once I section and use my shine and jam, I'm just gonna take my rubber band and make sure I hold that hair. I'm going to be using that same rubber band for this hairstyle. Together I have 5 sections, sis. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna take the hair out of the pack and then I'm going to be sectioning the hair into 2. So I'm taking the first section and I'm going to be sectioning that into 2, a smaller piece and a bigger piece, because when I loop them around, I'm going to have like a nice traditional braid going on. Don't mind my voice, guys. I am a little under the weather, okay? So I have a little cough or cold or whatever, but I am getting better. Anyway, Anyway, so I'm just gonna take my hair clips and hold the rest of the hair away, and I'm going to start working with one box at a time. The rubber band that I used, I'm just gonna take it out. First things first, I'm going to slick the hair down. So as you guys can see, my hair is really thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to be going into sections. So if you have thick hair like me, all you gotta do is go into sections just like I'm doing. Just make sure you're parting the hair and then applying the shine and jam. That way it is really nice and sleek. I'm going to section my natural hair into two. Taking the smaller piece of the braiding hair, placing it in between my natural hair, and then using the rubber band that I had to begin with. I'm going to be using that rubber band to secure the natural hair together with the braiding hair, okay? Anyway, so once I secure the hair, I'm going to section the hair into two and give it a little tug. That way it is nice and snug and it looks all the way cute. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of the shine and jam and apply it to the remaining of my natural hair. So when I place the hair down, you know, when I place the other piece down, it's easily tucked in. I don't have to do too much, sis, okay? So the bigger piece of the braiding hair, I'm just gonna place it on the top and then start braiding down. All you have to do is make sure you're holding the braiding hair nice and tight, okay? That way it does not move. That way it is nice and secure. And then start braiding down, sis. Exactly the way I'm doing. Very, very easy, very beginner friendly. Anybody can actually do this. And when I tell you this is easy, you better believe me, because all you're doing is sectioning the hair into two, placing the hair in the middle, taking the rubber band and then using it to secure it. By the way, somebody was asking me, does the rubber band break your hair? No, sis, it does not break my hair. The shine and jam is really nice and silky. Also, when I'm taking it down, I usually moisturize my hair, okay? So make sure you moisturize your hair when you're taking the braids down, because you don't want the rubber band to break your natural hair. And while we're still talking, sis, have you subscribed to my channel? Don't forget to turn on your notification button so you do not miss out on any uploads, because this channel is getting what? Juicy! Yes, sis! So you're just gonna take a little piece of the braiding hair and go around and tie this into a little knot, sis. Once you do this, you are done. It's a done deal. You're going to take your shine and jam, apply it to the hair. If your hair is thick as mine, make sure you're going into sections, just applying a little more of the shine and jam as you go along. And then once you do that, you're just gonna make sure the hair is really nice and sleek. And section the hair into two. So you already know I have a smaller piece and a bigger piece of the braiding hair. So I'm going to be taking the smaller piece of the braiding hair, placing it in between my natural hair, and then securing it with the rubber band that I was using to hold the hair with in the first place. Easy, right? And I'm going to be securing about 4 or 5 times, just enough that it's nice and cute, but not way too tight, sis. You're going to section your hair into two, give it a little tug. That way it is nice and snug on the bottom. And since I have a lot more hair on the top, my hair is thick, as you guys already know, I'm just going to section the hair into 3 and then braid it down, okay? So if your hair is thick as mine, you can do this technique. So what you're gonna do is section the hair into 3 and just give it a little braid, okay? So just braid it all the way down. And then once you flip the hair, it is nice and tucking the hair in. And then I'm just gonna take the bigger piece of the braiding hair, placing it on the top, and then braiding the hair all the way down. Today's shout out goes to each and every one of my subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for all the love. I cannot believe we are here today. Let's get to 1 million subscribers, because baby, at this point it is up from here. So you're just gonna take a little piece of the braiding hair and go around and tie this into a little knot, sis. So I'm going to show you guys again. You take your shine and jam, apply it to the hair. If your hair is thick as mine, make sure you're going into sections, just applying a little more of the shine and jam as you go along. And then once you do that, you're just gonna make sure the hair is really nice and sleek. And section the hair into 2. So I'm going to be taking the smaller piece of the braiding hair, placing it in between my natural hair and then securing it with the rubber band that I was using to hold the hair with in the first place. And that's all you're doing, sis. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. When I tell you this is easy, you better believe me. Once I'm done, securing the hair, I'm just going to section it into two, give it a little tug, and then I'm going to take a little bit more of the shine and jump, apply it to the remaining of my natural hair. That way, once you place the other piece of the braiding hair down, it is nice and tucked in, sis, okay? And then I'm just going to take the bigger piece of the braiding hair, placing it on the top, braiding the hair all the way down. As easy as it sounds, as easy as it looks, as easy as ABC, baby. When I tell you, I am over here feeling myself before the hair is even done, okay? Thank you guys so much for all the love, for subscribing to my channel, for all the comments, for everything. I really appreciate you. Thank you for sharing my videos with your cousins, your besties, your mamas, and your aunts, because sharing is caring, right? You better make sure you share my videos because you want everybody to be looking cute out in the streets. I mean, all these easy styles that I'm doing right here, anybody can actually do, okay? Anyway, so once I'm done, I'm just gonna take my Eco Styling Gel and make sure my baby hairs are nice and laid using the brush that I got from where? Amazon. You already know what it is by now. And then I'm going to take my styling strip and just make sure everything is nice and laid, baby. And you already know we gotta make sure we seal the ends of these braids. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna take my hot water, just make sure it is really nice and hot. I'm just gonna place the ends of the braids into the hot water and use my towel to dry it off, okay? Make sure you are very careful because you do not want to burn yourself, sis. Be very careful. This is hot. And then let's get to the bohemian look, sis. Okay, so we are going to be using this Lulu Trace Water Wave, and this is in color number 1. It is 18 inches, and I'm just going to use a bit of this strand, so like 2 strands out of this whole pack. So I'm going to be using the crochet needle, just a basic crochet needle, sis, opening the loop and closing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to section a little piece at a time of the water wave braiding hair, the crochet hair. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna place the crochet needle in exactly the way I'm doing. So you're just gonna place it anywhere where you want to have the little curly hair situation going on. Take the crochet, the water wave crochet hair, place it on the hook, close it, pull it out. So once I pull it out, I'm going to make sure I have my fingers in between the hair exactly the way I'm doing. So I'm just gonna pull out one of the strands, place it in the hole, and then pull it out. If you want it to be really nice and secure, you can actually secure it twice. And that's about it. And then you're going to do that on the other piece as well. Place it in, open the hook, take the crochet hair, place it on the hook, pull it out. So once you pull it out, you're going to make sure your fingers go in first, okay? And then take one of the strands and pull it in. You don't want it to look too bulky, okay? You want to make sure it looks really nice and clean. You can actually secure it twice or even 3 times if you want it to be really nice and secure, sis. And that's about it. And that's all I'm doing to each of the braids. You already know I gotta take my mousse and make sure everything is nice and secure, sleek down, or whatever. And make sure I apply it to both the braid and the curly hair. That way it looks really nice and juicy. And baby, when I tell you this bohemian braids came all the way through. Yes, sis, I am living for this look right here. Let me know if you guys are feeling it. Let me know in the comments if you guys are loving this look right here. And when I tell you it took me 45 minutes and I was done. Let me know if you guys are going to be trying this look right here. You better make sure you're sharing this video with your cousin, your bestie, your mama, and your aunt, sis. Because you want your aunt and your sisters to look cute as well, okay? And you know me, I cannot be the accessorizing queen without adding some accessories. So here I am adding all these gold accessories to the beautiful hair. And it just took the style all the way to boom, 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 100. Let me know if you guys are feeling it. Let me know if you guys are going to be trying this look right here. Because let me tell you something. I am feeling myself right about now. I look good. I look good. And you know, I gotta give you an option to wear this hair because a lot of people are like, Tupo, just show us how you put the hair in a bun, baby. It's not that hard. It is easy. I'm just gonna take the hair and put it all the way up right here. And that's about
ahead and use my scrunchie to secure. And baby, when I tell you this bun came all the way through as well, let me know if you guys are feeling it. Let me know if you guys are going to be trying this look right here, because let me tell you something, I am over here feeling like a whole lot of money, okay? Anyway, thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for all the love. I cannot believe we are here today. Let's get to 1 million subscribers, but make sure you're sharing these videos with your cousin, your bestie, your mama, and your aunt, because sharing is caring. And I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.